Hello, good morning, Expansers, Expanse fans. There was a poll about this online. They're wondering if they should have an official name for Expanse fans, like expand, Star Trek. It used to be Trekkies, and then it was Trekkers, and I don't know what the fuck they call themselves now. And there's something like Brown Coats for Firefly fans. There's a few others. I don't know. I don't think it really matters. Just call them Expanse fans. Anyway, I'm here to talk about the news. I actually dropped about 3 days ago, but I've been really busy and or not feeling well, so this is the first time I actually had time to sit down and come on, talk about the news. If you haven't heard, The Expanse has officially been picked up by Amazon, because I made a video before about The Expanse, because the Hollywood Reporter reported it has The Expanse has been picked up by Amazon, but that was sort of misrepresenting because it wasn't official. They were just in talks. Now it is official. Jeff Bezos, the I think CEO or head of Amazon, has announced that The Expanse is indeed and in fact coming to Amazon. And when he made the announcement, he said the coming seasons, plural. So it hasn't. I haven't read anything that said they had an official deal for official amount of seasons, but I just think he's sort of saying that he's hopeful that the show will continue onward. And he said, like before, that he's a big fan of the books, and it kind of makes sense from a commercial standpoint, since Amazon sells books, that they would pick up a series based off of books, because that helps them sell the books even more and makes them more money. So in the chat, we got Colonel Doomsday. Good to see ya. Flobo23 just watched the last Expanse episode. You're a few days late on that. That's all good. I know life is busy. Broke Blackman said, congrats. I know you love the show. Motivated me to check it out. You definitely should. You definitely should check it out. Let's see. And oh yeah, Colonel Doomsday said I hadn't heard seasons plural. Well, he just said that. He just used the term seasons when he was talking about it. He's like, I'm excited for The Expanse in the coming seasons. So there was no official announcement that there's going to be I don't think they have a contract for multiple seasons. So I think if Amazon is unhappy with how season 4 goes, they still have the rights to just cancel it there and be like, fuck you, you're not getting a season 5. But his attitude would suggest that he wants more seasons. So it's not like they're legally obligated, but he does. It seems like he's really on board and is hopeful that the show will go for multiple seasons. And as I said, he's a fan of a book, so he knows that there are way more books coming, so they still have a lot of material for the show to go through, which is good to hear. And Belinda saying it's been the Screaming Firehawk since season 2. Hope you're better soon. Screaming Firehawks. What? Are you talking about, is that the name for Expanse fans? If so, that'd be weird. I don't know. Anyway, well, maybe I'm just joining in the conversation really late. That has nothing to do with that. But anyway, yeah, so The Expanse is saved, as they say. And it only took 2 weeks, which actually wasn't long, but it felt really long to me because I was just so stressed out. I was like, and of course, Expanse fans have done a lot, like the plane over Amazon and signing a petition, which had a whole crap load of signatures. Colonel Doomsday was pointing out to me that Marco Anarias had signed the petition, which is weird because even the belter who wants to I was about to give away spoilers. No, I'll stop myself because not everyone's read the books. But anyway, if you read the books, you'll know the reference. Let's see. Yeah, so there we go. And if you watch, I watched the video because Jeff Bezos announced this at like some science function thing they had in Los Angeles where they had cast and crew of The Expanse were there, and so he announced it in front of a huge crowd. And if you watch the video on that, I found it a bit touching because you can see when he announced that the Expanse is officially going to have season 4. You see some of the cast and crew, including I believe his name is Stephen Strait, the guy who plays Holden, was there, and he was like tearing up, and they were hugging each other, and they were hugging people, and it was actually a really touching video. I'm just really excited because I know if you read the books and you know what's coming in season 4. You hope the prospect that they may actually have a bigger budget, because a lot of people were worried about how book 4 is going to translate. In fact, I heard some theories of people saying they would skip over book 4 because it would be too expensive to film. But the showrunner has said that they're not going to skip over any book material, any books entirely. They said because of the authors are involved in the show, and they wouldn't let them do that, or wouldn't feel comfortable doing that with them. They might truncate it a bit, perhaps. But yeah, and there's no word on how big if the budget will be any bigger or smaller. We don't know. But what's interesting to think about, and this is something I'm probably actually honestly not happy about, is if I understand correctly, Amazon functions the same way that Netflix does, where they release an entire season all at once, which I'm a bit disappointed if that's the case with The Expanse, because I liked watching it one episode 1 week at a time. It gave me a week to digest it, a week to talk about it, a week to come on here and do these videos. Whenever there's a Netflix show, it's always hard to try to talk about each episode individually. I find my videos get a hell of a lot less views. People are less interested to talk about it because most people who are huge fans will binge the whole thing at once, so they don't really want to talk about episode 3 or episode 2 without getting spoilers into future episodes, because they already seen the whole season and they just want to talk about the ending and the whole entire season, which is disappointing from a YouTuber standpoint. So if that part of it is true, then I find that part of it disappointing. But then again, of course, I'd rather we have a season 4 than not. So if that's the price we have to pay, then fair enough, so be it. But I don't know. If that was the case, I probably would still do a review for each episode. It just might not be as well viewed or talked about or popular or whatever. But I'd still do it. But I'd still binge the show in one go. Probably watch it within the first 24 hours because I love the show so much. But I actually prefer spreading it out over several months. But whatever. Yes, Belinda says it was a great announcement. Let's see. Naren, Haley, Steven, Wes, and Cass were all there. I'm not sure if I recognize all those names. I recognize some of them. I know Steven and Cass were there. I didn't know Wes was there. That's interesting. Wes is Amos, and Cass is Alex, and Steven is Holden. I'm not sure who Haley and Naren. Oh, Naren's the showrunner, I believe you're referring to. I'm not sure who Haley is then. Kara G was there as well. She seems most excited. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, Belinda says, I hope for one a week. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not completely familiar with Amazon's model, which I'll have to become familiar with because I'm going to have to sign up for them now. But from what I understood, because I knew that they had the one show I watched recently, Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams, because I was getting that in New Zealand in my New Zealand streaming service, which is legit, called Lightbox, and with Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams, it aired in Channel 4 in the UK, but in America it was on Amazon. And so we in New Zealand, we picked it up the same time as Channel 4 in the UK. They got it 3 months early. They got it in October, and they were airing it one episode at a time. So we were getting it one episode at a time. But when Amazon, they got it in January, they released the entire season at once. So for us here in New Zealand, we just got the rest of the season when Amazon got it. So instead of doing it one episode at a time like the UK was. So that does make me think that Amazon does get it the whole entire thing at once, which, yeah, I don't know. I always thought that Netflix could release it one episode at a time. They don't have to do it all at once. I think certain shows like Black Mirror in particular, I think would really benefit from that instead of just shoving everything out there. Other shows like Stranger Things and a lot of these Marvel Netflix shows, I get why they release it all at once because it's more of a complete story. Like those are the kind of stuff you do want to binge. But you know, some other shows like Orange is the New Black or um, whatever what I was just talking about those Black Mirror, yeah, those shows I think would benefit for 1 week at a time release. But I don't know what Amazon's going to do. If their model is they have to release everything at once, then maybe they'll do that. But I would rather they do it 1 week at a time. Holly Lambert is one of the writers, and Amazon has both formats. Oh, do they? Okay, that is interesting. All right, so they do either way. They could do 1 week at a time, or they could release it all at once. Well, if that's the case, then I highly believe they would do 1 week at a time for The Expanse, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure Netflix is like all their shows is dumping all at the same time. It's different, although for like the New Zealand version, for me, it's different because they do have some weekly shows, but that's because those are the shows that aren't Netflix originals in the US, like Star Trek Discovery. To me, that's presented as a Netflix original, but if you're in the US, that's on CBS All Access. So for us, that's released 1 week at a time on Netflix, but I think most US Netflix originals are obligated to dump it all at once. But if Amazon's more open, they can do it either way. That would be better. Anyway, yes. Well, Colonel Doomsday asked if I binged Electric Dreams, and the answer is, well, as I said, I watched the first 6 episodes. The other 4 episodes all came out at once. Because in the UK is 1 week at a time, but in the US is all at once. So we got the first 6 at the same time as UK 1 week at a time, but then the other all came out at once. So yeah, I binged the last 4 episodes of Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams. It's a good show. I would recommend it. Yes, Belinda says super excited for next week's episode. Absolutely, and I think it's going to be really great to see what's going on here. No, Deanna just asked if there's anything new. No, nothing new. I'm just saying the news about The Expanse being picked up by Amazon, which I know is like happened 3 days ago, but this is the first opportunity I had to come on and talk about that. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much all I had to say on this particular topic. I'll just see what's in the chat real quick. James says, I also hope they drop the 43-minute per episode limit. Probably much better when the show creators can properly format the episode to whatever length necessary. Oh, that's a very good point, because that's another thing that like Netflix and Amazon streaming services do, because they're not stuck with this. It has to be, because that actually can hamper writers and editors a lot when they're released on TV and there's commercials, so there's a specific time that they have to make. So sometimes they have to drag out the episode more. Sometimes they have to cut stuff that would have helped the episode. So that's actually a great point. And I'm damn sure that the Amazon format would allow them to make the length of the episode whatever the hell they want. So yeah, that would be great as well. That would be a huge benefit for Kara G is Drummer. Okay. She looks nothing like Drummer. Oh yeah, I saw her there. I thought I recognized her as Drummer right away. I saw her. She was on the show Travelers. She was on season 2 of Travelers. And it's weird seeing her without her Belter accent. She had a normal Canadian accent. And I was like, where's your Belter accent? But I recognized her straight away. Anyway, yes, Belinda, thank you. And I'll see you guys next time. So much. Thank you guys for tuning in. And of course, I will be covering The Expanse so much. And we did it. I'm so relieved. Like Brooklyn Nine-Nine was picked up like in 1 day, and The Expanse was 2 weeks. But still, 2 weeks is really quick. it's a really quick turnaround. I wasn't expecting to hear anything for months, but now we can. Great news for the Expanse, and a lot of great shows don't get picked up. A lot of great shows just fall by the wayside. But I think this had a lot to do with, business contracts or whatever. It was just easy for Amazon to do it, and they had invested interest. It was smart of them to do it. But great. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and make sure to check out all the Expanse coverage going forward. As Belinda said, this next episode is going to be great. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. See you next time.